The steps to safely uncouple tractor trailers, again, it's a process. It's the same type of process, but it's in reverse. And practically it's the same, but the steps are backwards with a few steps or safety measures that you have to take into account. There are 12 steps. So step one is position the rig, truck, or vehicle. This is part of setting up phase. Step two, secure the tractor and ease the pressure on the locking jaws. Step three, chalk the trailer wheels. Step four, lower the landing gear. Step five, disconnect airlines and electrical cord. This is part of the disconnecting phase. Step six, unlock the fifth wheel. Step seven, lower the air suspension. Step eight, pull the tractor partially clear. This is part of the completing the disconnect phase. Step nine, secure the tractor. Step 10, inspect the trailer supports. Step 11, pull the tractor clear. And then step 12, you want to raise that air suspension. So I'm going to go in deeper with each of these steps. Step one, position the rig, truck, or vehicle. So this is part of the setting up phase. Before you start, you need to get in the right position first by checking the surface, making sure that it needs to support the actual trailer weight. Now, if the surface is soft or uneven, then you may need to use additional blocking or supports to make sure you're distributing the weight of that landing gear so that way it doesn't sink. Step two is to secure the trailer and ease pressure off the locking jaws. This is still part of setting up phase. So if your tractor has a sliding fifth wheel, remember to position it where you need to be before you even start uncoupling the vehicle. When you are set up, once you're set up correctly, just secure the trailer and ease pressure off the locking jaw. And the simple step to securing trailer is to start by setting the trailer brakes, then back up gently against the kingpin to ease the pressure off the locking jaws, and then engage that tractor brakes while pushing against the kingpin. Step three is to chalk the trailer wheels. This is part of the setting up phase. So now is the time to get in the trailer and get ready to disconnect. But first, you have to chalk the wheels before you even lower the landing gear. So this will make sure that the trailer does not move. Safety is the first priority. Remember. Step four, lower the landing gear. This is part of the setting up phase. So lower the landing gear with a firm two-handed grip until it's firmly on the ground. Then you stop once it's firmly on the ground. Next, you switch over the lower range and lower the landing gear until some of the trailer weight is on the landing gear. Then a special key pro tip to remember. If you have air ride, when you hear the air ride starting to vent air, that means that the trailer gear has taken on some of that trailer weight. Now, if the trailer begins to come up or let up off the fifth wheel, then it's time to start cranking. Now, you want to take a moment here to inspect the landing gear for damage, rust, or cracks. Now, get any problems fixed before uncoupling in order to avoid equipment and cargo damage. That's due to a collapsed landing gear. Step five, you want to disconnect airlines and electrical cord. So this is part of the disconnecting phase. You'll want to hang the electrical cord with the plug face down to prevent any moisture from entering to it. And you want to do that also by disconnecting the airlines and the electrical cord. Then you want to secure the airlines in order to prevent the damage when you're driving. Step six, you want to unlock the fifth wheel. This is part of the disconnecting phase. So be extremely careful when unlocking the fifth wheel, because when everything's in place, you want to position yourself correctly and pull carefully, because the fifth wheel hook keeps your body away from the pinch point and it reduces strain on your back. Trust me, you will thank yourself later for it. So you want to check for safety latch if you are having any type of trouble pulling that fifth wheel handle. Now, if that's not the problem, then you want to back up into the kingpin again, because some of these handles have to be lifted, moved, or forward or rotated before even being pulled. Now, it may even have a safety latch you'll have to move out of the way before you can even be pulled. So once that fifth wheel is released, turn the landing gear to raise that trailer higher if additional height is needed. You want to keep your legs and feet clear of the rear trailer or truck wheel in case the vehicle moves. Never be too safe. Step 7, you want to lower the air suspension by disconnecting. This is part of the disconnecting phase. So you want to head into the cab. If your tractor has air suspension, it will say either dump or lower valve. Then you want to release the pressure from the airbags to the frame and fifth wheel. So the frame and fifth wheel, make sure that they don't jump when they come out from underneath of the trailer. So if your tractor frame drops significantly when dumping air suspension, you want to pull that tractor forward 6 to 12 inches before lowering the air suspension. That way, this keeps the fifth wheel jaws from getting hung on the head of the kingpin. Step 8, you want to pull the tractor partially clear. So this is part of the completing the disconnect phase. So you're almost finished. First, you want to pull the tractor partially clear. And if the tractor has tandem drive axles, you want to pull forward until the trailer nose is splitting the tandem or the nose is over the rear axle. Now, if the tractor has a single axle, you want to pull forward to get the trailer nose right over the rear axle. This way, if the trailer does settle, of the landing gear falls, or the trailer will come down on the tractor, it will come down on the tractor instead of crashing onto the ground. So that's another safety precaution or safety measure to have. Step 9 is to secure the tractor. This is part of the connecting the disconnect phase. So secure the tractor by applying the parking brake, place the transmission in neutral, and getting out of the vehicle or cab. Step 10, you want to inspect the trailer supports. This is part of the completing the disconnect phase. It's important to make sure that the landing gear is not damaged by inspecting the trailer supports. And you want to make sure the ground is firm enough and the landing gear is doing its job. That's what the landing gear is for. It's the gear that helps you land safely. So if everything looks good, then just pull the tractor completely clear. Step 11 is to pull the tractor clear. This is part of completing the disconnect phase. So you want to make sure you release the parking brakes, check the area, and slowly drive the tractor clear of the trailer. If needed, use the trailer safety jack to support the trailer. And last but not least, step 12, raise the air suspension. And this is part of the completing the disconnect phase. So if your tractor has an air suspension, then you make sure you reinflate the airbags. And those are the 12 steps to safely uncouple your tractor trailer or combination vehicle. Hey, BET Trainer here. Listen, if you really had true value out of this video, go ahead and click that like button and share some honest comments about this video, because this is going to help other people as well see the video and get the value information, so that way they can be inspired by what you're doing right now as well. So also, if you want to get the latest updates, go ahead and click the subscribe button, so then you can be able to always be updated on the next instant video that will be put out. So again, go ahead and do that. And this video was sponsored by BET Life Services and CDL for Life.